Hey class, this is Mr. Briggs. I have been out a little bit due to some illness, but I've been really excited about the notes I've seen from your sub, from the work you've been posting on Google Classroom. It sounds like you guys have been doing a great job with me not being here. I'm here at my house right now, getting better, hanging out with my puppy. Fitz, come here, bud. He's a little cutie. He's been keeping me company right now. Okay. He's been keeping me company, and he's been a really great dog. He's been a really great dog, so I think I'm going to make him a trophy. Now, what's really one of the really cool things about 3D printing and 3D design is that you can make custom items such as custom trophies. So we're going to do that today. Here we are in Tinkercad, and the first thing we're going to do is sign in. We're going to hit the sign in button, not sign up, sign in. And once we're signed in, we're going to go and hit sign in using social providers. And we're going to hit Google. And it's going to take just a little bit of time, but once it gets you in there, you should be at the dashboard here for Tinkercad. We want to create a new design. Now, the rules for this design, the rules for making this is that you have to have something that is 40 millimeters by 40 millimeters as a base. I do not have infinite printing ink, and the larger this is, the more dense it is, the more its area, the more time it will take to print. We want this to print fast. So I'm going to start with a pyramid. Now I could use a roof shape, I could use a round roof, I could use anything. Trophies come in all shapes and sizes. But I do need to make sure the base is no more than 40 by 40. Now, could it be a little bit smaller? Sure, doesn't matter. I might make mine just a little bit taller too. I'll make mine like 30, nice even 30. Now, like I said, I need to put some stuff on this, right? What's great about this shape is it's going to make a nice solid block, but it's not going to use up as much printer ink as, say, if I were using like a box or something. It's a lot of empty space here. So I'm going to grab some text, and the first thing I'm going to do is maybe make that text the size I want it. I'm going to shrink it down real good. And I'm going to write my message on the front of the trophy. I'm going to say that he is the world's okayest dog. Now I'm running into some trouble here. This is really long, right? It's not gonna, if I make this fit onto my trophy, it's not all gonna fit. So I'm gonna have to split this up a little bit. I'm gonna take dog off of there and just have world's okayest. I could shrink this down to a size that's good. And a good size would be, again, probably around 40 millimeters. Okay. And I'm gonna make dog at the bottom. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna duplicate it because this is already the text I kind of want, the size I want. It's going to be easier just to duplicate it and write dog. World's okayest dog. And now, just to make my life easier, I'm going to take those two things and group them so I can move them together as one object. Okay, so let's put that on the front of my trophy. I'm going to grab this, find that little rotatey button. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees so it stands straight up and put it on my trophy. Now here's the problem though. I'm going to print this in real life. All of these letters are floating in space. They're floating. That means that they are not going to print. They're actually just going to get plastic shot out in the middle of nowhere. I need them to be attached to something that is attached to my base. So I have to find another shape to help me out here. I'm going to grab maybe a roof. No, I'm going to grab a roof. I'm going to find a wedge here. There we go. That's a good shape. And I'm going to pop that wedge in. and lift it so that it's almost as tall as my letters here, and make it nice and wide, 40 millimeters wide, so it covers all of my stuff. Now that looks pretty good, but I might want to just tweak it a little bit, make it a little thinner. Come on. Oh, 41, I need to be 40. Listen to me. Maybe move it in a little bit. So those letters, you know what? I'm gonna make the letters pop out. There we go. So my letters pop out real nice and good. Although, check it out, my T is not centered. I need to move that guy. So I'm going to use my arrow keys just to tweak it. And now, everything's looking pretty good. It is really important anytime you're printing anything to look at it from all angles, make sure everything's attached real nice. And now I'm going to group it. Okay. So now I have the base of my trophy, World's Okayest Dog. Well, I got to maybe just change something up. I want to add a pedestal here. So I'm going to take a cone, an ice cream cone here, and I'm going to flip it around because I need to have something on top of my trophy. So I'm going to flip this around 180 degrees. There we go. Pop it in the middle there. Lift it up using the little cone. And again, that does not look straight to me. I'm going to use my arrow keys to tweak it around. There we go. That looks pretty good. Let's look at all the sides to make sure they're good. They're looking pretty good to me. But I do want to make that cone a little bit larger. Can I make it a little bit that way? There we go. And now I've got this really great pedestal that I can sit something on top of. I'm going to group it all together again. Now what do I put on top of it? Well, I could spend a lot of time trying to get a picture of my dog or take a bunch of shapes and make a little puppy shape. All that's well and good. I'm going to cheat. And I found this thing on Thingiverse. And Thingiverse is a really great website. You just have to Google Thingiverse. It lets you search for all kinds of different objects. And I found this really great object of a terrier kind of cutout. So I'm not going to go to download all files. I'm going to go down a little bit to thing files. And what I'm looking for is something that has STL in the name. So here we have Terrier STL, and I'm going to download that. Might take a second. You can do it. There it went and downloaded that Terrier file. So now I'm back in Tinkercad here, and I want to put that file in there. I'm going to hit import, and I'm going to choose the file, or just drag it in my case, and it's telling me that it's 34 by 39. That fits in my my dimensions there. That's pretty good. I'm going to import it. And there I have my little cookie cutter. Now there's a couple things I noticed about this. One, it's just a little too thin for me. So I'm going to make him just a little thicker. I'm going to make him like 6 millimeters thick. Yeah. And he's also sideways. I have to make him go up and down. So I have to rotate him about 90 degrees. And I'm going to drag him into my shape here. Grab that cone and lift him up. Oh no, I run into another problem. This other problem is that he's a little crooked. See his back feet? They're kind of falling off there. That will not print very easily. So I need to zoom out just a little bit, click my little terrier, and find the rotatey deal. And I'm going to rotate him, but I'm just going to rotate him just a little bit so all 4 of his little feeties are on the ground. And now I've got a pretty good looking trophy, right? Again, I'm going to look at it from all the sides to make sure every part is sort of attached real well. And I'm going to then take it and group it. And I have a finished trophy. Now, to turn your trophy in, the first thing you want to do is change the name of your file. I'm going to do 5th hour. You do whatever class hour you are, and then your first name, last name. So I know what hour you are in, what your name is, and finally end it with trophy, so I know what I'm printing. That way, when I print these on my printer, I know whose stuff I'm printing. It'll be much easier for me to keep track of whether I printed your stuff or not. Then you hit export and you hit STL file. And that STL file is the file that you want to turn in for this assignment. Okay, guys, have fun with this. Be as creative as you can be. As long as your thing fits on 40 millimeters by 40 millimeters, I will print it next week. Have fun and good luck.